Chi Batu Pahat liaison office held a distribution for Indian care recipients to celebrate Deepavali. The University of Nahdlatul Ulama, Indonesia, which Tzu Chi helped build, celebrates its inauguration. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Simon Gan. Thank you for joining us. Deepavali, or the Festival of Light, is a Hindu tradition. To celebrate this festival, Tzu Chi Batu Pahat liaison office held a distribution for 9 Hindu care recipient families so they could celebrate the festival too. Let's take a look.
Thosai is a traditional Hindu food made with cooked, flat, thin layer rice batter for the Deepavali. Tzu Chi Batu Pahat office makes it for the 9 Hindu care recipient families. Every year during this festival, adults and children always put on colorful dresses. They all seem relaxed and also pray for peace.
Thosai is very important food because after we pray in the festival, we eat it.
Kolam is also a very important decoration for the festival. The term means to welcome gods into one's house, and the care recipients draw it to welcome every person and to bless them.
I feel much better this year. I believe I'll get well. Do I look prettier than before?
Okay. Yeah.
Navamani's children are dancing on stage. In less than a year, Navamani has started working.
Sebab saya nak kerja sebab saya tak boleh.
I have to work because I can't wait for people to help me. The kids have to go to school, but I don't have enough money, so I have to work. They're my responsibility. I have to take care of my kids because they're my responsibility. I have to feed them too. Therefore, anything happens to me, I see it as something I must learn.
Apa yang sudah jadi dalam hidup saya ambil itu satu belajar.
Her 65-year-old mother wishes them well.
If people give me the clothes that I can wear, I keep them. I also keep the plastic, glass bottles, aluminum cans, and metal cans the neighbors give to me. I know city volunteers will come and I'll give them these items.
Tzu Chi volunteers give presents to every care recipient family and encourage them to overcome their problems.
University of Malaya Medical School is the first overseas medical school that has launched the silent mentor program implemented by Taiwan's Tzu Chi University. The Malaysia Buddhist Institution in Penang invited the center director to give a presentation about the program so participants have a better understanding of life and death.
In the event hosted by the Malaysian Buddhist Institute in Penang, the silent mentor shared her last words and is deeply touched the participants.
我们槟城佛学院周日学校呢，都是一直在推广这个佛化生命教育。
The Sunday school here has been promoting Buddhist life education, and today's topic is the relationship of humans and life. So we hope that through this sharing event, they can ponder how to build a meaningful life during this lifetime.
自己的这个生命要怎么样的去建立起一个有意义的生命啊，让他们去审思。
今天的课题大体捐献是就是称为无语良师，没有说话的老师。
University of Malaya Medical School adapted the Silent Mentor program of Taiwan Tzu Chi University, establishing the Silent Mentor Center in 2012.
通过媒体来把这样的一种资源，然后整个计划的精神宗旨。
Through media, we share the program's goal and spirit to the public. We've seen some results through this method. For example, some organizations have invited us to give a presentation to their groups.
他们都会说邀请我们。 到他们组织去做相关的一些说明、解说等等的。以感恩尊重的方式。
We treated our silent mentors with gratitude and respect. Through a series of rituals, we accomplished the donating ceremony.
整个捐赠仪式。
If my parents agreed, I definitely will join because I'm also a Buddhist.
I feel touched for all of silent mentors' contribution. This program is very humane because they respect their bodies greatly.
The Silent Mentor program is not yet well known in Malaysia, but many have shown their recognition to the concept of giving back to society after life.
In the Philippines, Tzu Chi helped 26 poor people in Tacloban instill free dentures so they could smile again. These impoverished residents express their gratitude for Tzu Chi volunteers, while the team members also feel joyful helping them.
Teeth makes beautiful smile. Without the teeth, they will feel shy. They always cover their face when they talk. So if we can give them a beautiful smile, they feel more confident in their life.
A 17-year-old teenager should be smiling happily, but she looks rather depressed because her missing teeth had taken away her smile and confidence. Tzu Chi decided to give her a free denture.
Thank you, Tzu Chi volunteers and also the dentist, so I can smile again. I'm so grateful to you.
68-year-old Emilita Tinzong could only have liquid food for the past 5 years because of her missing teeth.
May napakani nga mga dentista.
I'm really lucky to get free dentures from Tzu Chi.
Libre nga postiso.
Now I can finally chew food.
Nakakaon na akuhin maupay.
It costs between $300 to $1,200 to get the mouth-off of cheapest dentures in the Philippines. Dentist Chong, who has been devoted to Tima for 16 years, enjoys what she does.
In the clinic, I can deliver a denture with a very big payment, but here, their smile is my biggest contentment in my life.
This couple closed down their clinic for 5 days and flew to Tacloban from Davao. The wife is a dentist and her husband is a dental assistant.
Hindi lang yung pwedeng sige na lang.
We can't always think about work or making money all the time. We must give with our skills to be part of the free clinic.
Charity work.
Their long-gone smiles are finally resurfacing on their faces.
In our next report, we'll meet a lymphoma patient whose life was saved by a marrow donor. When Wang Qichen was diagnosed with lymphoma, his son was only 6 months old. Afraid that his son might lose his father, he bravely endured the pain of the treatments. Fortunately, he quickly found a matching marrow donor. His matching donor was a passionate young man who was eager to save lives. Thanks to him, Wang was given a second chance at life.
Back then, we were at the border of life and death.
I realized what it means to be overwhelmed with pain.
He was diagnosed with lymphoma at age 39. Back then, his son was only 6 months old.
Back then, I was very worried that there would be no one to accompany my child.
Recalling the past, one feels quite emotional.
Back then, my parents were old. My son was only 6 months old. In fact, he had little impression of his father.
Worried that his child might lose his father, Wang endured the pain of the treatments.
People say that there is nothing to look forward to, but you need to have something you love so you can continue to move forward.
We now have the ability to be happy. We feel fortunate. In the past, I could not imagine we could have a future.
Mrs. Wang explained that her husband's treatment did not go smoothly as he relapsed twice. He traveled to northern Taiwan for treatment. To support her husband, Mrs. Wang brought a child and traveled to northern Taiwan on holidays.
I had to carry the stroller, our mother's luggage, and the child while taking the train.
For 3 years, Mrs. Wang spent all her holidays at the hospital in Taipei.
When I looked at him, he was always in pain. Despite that, he still smiled at me.
Even though he was very little and understood very little, he could still remember the love in his father's eyes.
My father wants to tell me that he loves me very much. I feel that he is a very passionate young man. His writing reveals his character. He writes neatly. I think he is a gentleman.
I thought I would see another me. He might look like me, with small eyes, big mouth, and rounded face. I heard that after the bone marrow transplant, the recipient's genes will be similar to mine.
Huang Baoqing's bone marrow match with Wang Qichen. Back then, Huang was a student who loved sports and has a lot of ideals.
No matter what, I want to save this person.
By giving the patient a second chance at life, Huang saved a family.
I feel that I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate that I can help other people.
I'm grateful to all the marrow donors who give selflessly. They're able to help many people who are tormented by illness. Thank you.
Nahdlatul Ulama, which is the largest Muslim organization in Indonesia, signed an MOU in the field of education with Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter in June last year. A year later, a 4-story building with 6,300 square meters was completed, and its inauguration ceremony was recently held.
Pulling down the banner represents the University of Nahdlatul Ulama Indonesia was officially opened.
Ini salah satu buktinya bahwa Yayasan Buddha Tzu Chi telah
Tzu Chi helped us build a 4-story academic building with a lot of space inside. Later, a mosque will be built, which will become the education center of Nahdlatul Ulama.
The University of Nahdlatul Ulama Indonesia is located at Bogor, West Java. Construction began in October 2018. Covering an area of 6,300 square meters, Tzu Chi has built classrooms, playrooms, halls, libraries, and meeting rooms. A total of 46 multipurpose rooms can accommodate more than 1,000 students.
This is a very important cooperation between us. Both of us value this project very much. Today, the university was eventually inaugurated, and I believe that this good affinity will continue in future.
The day of inauguration was also the Henry Century National. 55 Tzu Chi volunteers went there to witness this historic moment.
Because our previous campus was so small, there were not many activities held. Now we have a new campus, more events can be hosted here in the future.
Tzu Chi Foundation is a charitable organization focusing on humanitarian and environmental education, which is exactly in line with the philosophy of Nahdlatul Ulama. I'm very happy to see the inauguration of the Indonesia campus, which can help us study even harder in the future.
Two organizations representing different religions join hands to construct the University of Nahdlatul Ulama Indonesia. Every brick and tile combines the thoughts of multiculturalism and harmony.
Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter hosted a charity sale to raise funds for building a new hospital. There are 207 booths selling special things and food from different regions. Apart from the volunteers, a Tzu Chi care recipient also set a stall to pay back for Tzu Chi's help.
In order to raise construction funds for a new hospital, Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter held a charity sale at Jinshi Hall. There were 207 booths selling different things, from daily necessities to delicious vegetables. There were also beautiful cloth bags, which are made of threads and handmade by volunteers, proved to be very popular.
At first, I didn't know how to sew. It's the charity sale which drove me to do it.
Because of the charity sale and to promote environmental protection, Fanny mobilized 10 mother volunteers to learn sewing.
We were just there and saw a lot of rags. It is a pity if they were thrown away. We want to use them to make cloth bags or shopping bags.
Volunteers from different regions actively invited people to gather things for the sale. This action of love touched everyone.
He might think that he was not able to donate money, yet he has something to donate it. That is, he has time to help.
Hildry, who sells icy drinks on the street, wanted to thank Tzu Chi for providing free surgery to cure his son's cleft lip 15 years ago. He pushed the stall to the site of the charity sale and sold 800 cups on this day.
Because I've received Tzu Chi's help before, and I know that Tzu Chi's assistance is regardless of race and religion. So when I learned that they were going to host a charity sale, I immediately agreed to come to set up my stall.
The charity sale was very popular, and the buying atmosphere was also booming. volunteers from different regions made the charity sale more distinctive.
Everybody contributes their money and efforts. Volunteers from different regions brought local specialties here to join the charity sale at their own expense. Like I've just tried a satay from Padang and soto soup from Biak.
Everyone made their efforts for raising construction funds, laying a loved field foundation of the new hospital.
Jakarta Tzu Chi Junior High School often hosts vegetarian cooking competitions to encourage students to adopt a vegetarian diet. This time, they picked papaya as the main cooking ingredient, which was a challenge to the children. Let's see how they perform.
Papaya, which is normally considered as a fruit, has become the main cooking material today at the culinary contest of Tzu Chi Junior High School in Jakarta. This is a task the teacher prepared for the children.
We pick papaya as the main material because many children dislike eating papaya, so we chose it for them to learn to balance their diets.
Every team has 3 members and they need to cook 3 dishes in 2 hours. It's a stereotype that female students should be better at cooking, but here the male students also performed well.
I eat much less meat now. I've discovered that vegetarian diet can make our body healthier after I start to eat more vegetables.
Everyone showed their creativity and cooking skills to present this delicious papaya banquet.
Actually, I prefer to eat papaya as a fruit, but it's quite nice that we use it as a cooking material too. I like the sauce we made because it added the flavor of the dishes. Eating a vegetarian diet can also protect the environment.
Through this competition, everyone has learned how vegetarian diet can benefit the earth and how they can adopt it in everyday life.
Taiwan has been working hard for 30 years to respond to climate change with many positive results. Today, we visit a storage which collects more than 100,000 kinds of grain seed, storing them at an extremely low temperature. This is to ensure we always have crops to grow in the future. In recent years, heavy rain poses a challenge to melons and fruits, and even rice, which are highly dependent on water. However, they can't stand too much rain, which causes crop failure. And the same can be said about heat, as scientists are working to develop drought and heat-resistant crops.
Heavy rain, agriculture will be damaged, and although the crops need water, they also have to breathe oxygen.
When there's flooding, the oxygen in our soil will be lacking, and the roots of the plant will easily suffocate.
If plants sit too long in standing water, they will die. Even rice can die of oxygen deficiency.
With abnormal weather, places where it didn't rain have rain, and places which didn't flood now seem to flood. I hope that the plants we developed can be more resistant to flooding, so our overall production will be safer.
After a week of flooding in the laboratory, the rice has gradually died because it does not have the gene that makes it resistant to flooding. The rice that has this gene is still green, some 3 weeks of being underwater.
I found a key gene that can cause rice to resist flooding as long as it has this gene.
Rice with a flood-tolerant gene in the event of flooding will make a special protein to create 2 genes that will continually make a series of anti-flooding proteins and let the rice survive in a flooded environment. This will get them through this tough period and survive. The staff of Academia Sinica believes that these flood-tolerant genes can be transferred to general rice in 2 ways, one for crossbreeding and the other for genetic improvement. Both of these methods were proven successful.
Hybridization takes a little longer, so we also try to use the method of genetic modification to directly put it in our Tainan 67 rice, which can be achieved in 1 or 2 generations. In fact, it is possible to modify Tainan 67 rice to become flood resistant.
Now, at the moment, the FDA has not approved any crops that can be planted in the field.
There are still no GMO crops in the country, which can be allowed to be cultivated in the fields by the government. However, in the face of extreme weather, once a severe grain shortage occurs in the future, GMO crops will come in handy.
It is estimated that by 2050 or 2060, the population will be 9 billion. which means more than 2 billion people will be added, and they will eat more food than they do now. Changing the genes on GMO crop may be something we need to do in the future.
When humans have no food to eat, they will not care about safety concerns of GMO crops. However, they have not yet reached the critical moment of extreme food shortage. Therefore, Taiwanese science and technology units mostly use traditional crossbreeding to strengthen the water tolerance and drought resistance of rice. Through this heating device, this agricultural research center pumps hot air into the greenhouse to maintain the temperature of 38 to 40 degrees to observe the tolerance of this rice to high temperature.
In general, if there is a high temperature, it will turn out like this. The husks will be empty, but this group of heat-resistant rice can still produce at high temperatures.
Abnormal weather proves to be a major challenge for growing crops.
Taiwan's rainfall is not an average distribution. It has given you a lot of rain, and then there's the long-term drought. So we are developing rice resistance to flooding and drought.
We obtained the drought-tolerant rice from the International Rice Research Institute from the Philippines, and then introduced this gene into this generation of Tainan No. 11 rice. It not only kept the good characteristics of Tainan No. 11, but more importantly, during cultivation, it has drought tolerance.
Dramatic changes in the climate not only affect the growth of crops, but may also completely destroy crops overnight.
If there's a problem, all crops may be affected the same. This includes resistance to pests and diseases, and adaptability to the climate. It is necessary to maintain the diversity found in our original species to ensure humans have food.
Therefore, the work of preserving seedlings is very important. I'm standing in the midterm storage facility of the Agricultural Research Institute, where some 100,000 copies of the original seeds are kept at a temperature 1 degree Celsius. If we open the door and enter in, it is quite cold inside. A cryogenic device with a temperature of minus 18 degrees allows the seed to be stored for more than 100 years.
For example, original rice and wheat seeds. We may have 3,000 seeds here. Because we have so many species, we need a barcode for all of them, which we can scan to enter the computer.
For the past 70 years, the United States, Japan, France, Germany, and other advanced countries have successfully built a database for crops. Taiwan followed up 30 years ago to preserve local grain seeds and retain hope for the future. The challenge of extreme weather has led to crop improvement as a way for humans to fight against future challenges. However, if we do not start from the basic carbon reduction and energy conservation, then the adaptability of breeding GMO crops simply will not catch up with climate change.
The Californian government has set the third Thursday in October as the Earthquake Drill Day. On this day, Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters and Tzu Chi Walnut Education grounds also practice earthquake drills. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.